Hey guys, it's Courtney King here with King Realty and Management. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. So what is this new normal I'm talking about? Well, check this out. I like to observe a lot of trends, right? So I got my real estate license in 2010. And so from February of 2010 until now, 2019, I've just been really taking notes on different patterns that I see and trends. And one of the things that I realize that I tend to share with a lot of my clients, especially my sellers, is during the past, I don't know, at least 4.5 years, our market, both in Dallas and Houston, has just been on fire, right? So, a house goes up, you've got, 3-4 contracts within the first 24 hours or more, depending on the price point that you're at. And just everything moving so quickly, right? And so what that has done, because gosh, like I said, it's about four years of this nonstop. Like even in the winter time, for me, has been really busy, even though normally that's the slow time. So now we're at a point where interest rates are a little bit higher than they have been over the past few years. There's a little bit more inventory on the market, so more properties available for potential buyers, right? And so we see this shift where it's been so much of a seller's market and now it's gradually shifting. Now, caveat to that, your price point is really going to dictate how far, how much you experience in this market. So for example, if you're under 200,000 and you're selling a house, yeah, it's probably still quite hot, right? If you're over 200,000 or over even 250, it might be a little bit slower, but relatively speaking, we're back to kind of the normal time it takes for a house to sell. So over the last 4 years with the hot market, properties are going under contract within the first week and closing within 30 days, right? So the days on market have been really low versus, in 2010, 11, 12, when I first got started, houses were taking anywhere from 60 to 90 days to sell, right? So as our market shifts back, I say the new normal, some of my sellers are experiencing 60, 80 days on market, and there's a tendency to freak out because for the past, recent years, it's been such a quick time to sell, a faster time to sell people's properties. So the reason why I say that is because now if houses are selling, let's say 60 to 90 days, that's actually relatively normal, So I share this perspective with clients so that not only can we kind of manage expectations, but just make the overall sales process more enjoyable. Who wants to be just like freaking out and stressed to the max because your house is not selling, this, that, and the other. Whereas if we have the perspective like, wow, the last 4 years have been more abnormal than normal with the rate that properties are selling, and now we're kind of going back into kind of the middle ground, the normal time that it takes, then they're not freaking out if it hits 30 to 60 days and it's still on the market. Now, with that being said, always go back to the comparables, right? So if you are buying a house or you are selling a house, monitoring actively what the competition is doing in your particular area is super important. If the average days on market in your community is, 60 days and you're at 40 days, then take that into consideration, right? Always go back to what the market data says, and then always have that dialogue with your agent where you're looking at the activity that you've had thus far. You're looking at the feedback that you've gotten thus far. If your house is still sitting and it hasn't sold yet, then maybe you're overpriced. I think that's where having this perspective is a guide, but also taking into consideration the other variables is really helpful, right? Because me as your agent or broker, and my agents will say the same thing. We want to get your house sold. We want you to be happy. But at the same time, we want you to be well informed. You know, we want you to achieve your goals, however, or whatever those goals may be. And so it's really a team effort. So making sure that not only are we looking at the actual data, but we're having a healthy perspective. And I'm sure there's other perspectives out there. I mean, if you have another perspective on what the market is doing, if you're like following and studying Warren Buffett, I would totally love to have you chime in. Comment below, send us a DM or a private message, and we can totally open up the dialogue. We're at King Realty HTX and at King Realty DFW on Instagram. YouTube is King Realty TX. You're joining us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/King Realty Management, all spelled out. And definitely visit our website. We've got a ton of awesome resources for you, buyers, sellers, investors, realtors, all of y'all. Our website is kingrealtytx.com. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week.